Hi, welcome to Gamer Bullshit. This is Jacob, and here with me is Austin, and this is a podcast where we talk about video games and a whole bunch of stuff you probably don't even care about. How you doing today, Austin?
I'm doing good.
Like how good? Like we're not fathers, so Father's Day.
Oh, it is
The
Father's
Day
Day.
special. It's Father's Day special, and no, not really.
How do you do a Father's
special.
Day special with a podcast?
Um,
Do you drink lots of Coca-Cola and snort pixie sticks?
I was thinking more along the lines of like sitting in a chair all day and getting fat and
That sounds
sleep.
lame. That
sounds-
sounds like America every day.
Hey, Sunday is the day of relaxation.
It is, but still, what you just described sounds like America every day. Boring.
You know what? Sometimes boring is needed. Everyone's always
you
like,
know what?
"Oh,
I went out on my bike today because it was beautiful out because I had to go get something for my dad, and then I went to Drake's and sat there for about an hour while I drank an Angry Orchard, and it was delicious.
yeah. Thanks for inviting me."
I was already out, and I actually wasn't playing. That was actually a spur of the moment thing, to be honest with you, because I was going there just to go to Hooters to get Dad a gift card, and then while I was out and I was leaving, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go home yet. I want to stop at Drake's, so I stopped there.
Okay. I see how it is. I see how it is.
And if I knew I was going there, I probably would have invited you.
Uh
But
huh.
I didn't even eat. I just drank one Angry Orchard, drank water, and then I left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really wasn't in the mood for Drake's. I just wanted an Angry Orchard.
Oh, okay. My mom cooked meatloaf, green beans, mashed taters, macaroni and cheese, corn on the cob, and some kind of cake today.
Meatloaf. It's so good. I love meatloaf.
I've probably eaten about a quarter of it
Oh
already.
my gosh, I love meatloaf. It's so good. My mom
really
thinks
is.
I'm weird. Like, my dad and me love eating it, and then she's like, I don't see how you guys eat that. I'm like, it's good.
It's good. It's so good.
Uh,
But we just got on a whole tirade about Father's Day and eating food and all that sort of
yeah.
stuff.
Way to go about being a gaming podcast.
I know, right? It's like, you guys fell. Like,
Noob.
oh, God.
Noob.
Noob.
Alright, anyway. First topic, please.
Well, first topic. Unfortunately, we don't have first-hand experience with this yet, but we already covered E3, and the biggest thing to probably talk about in video gaming right now is Batman Arkham Knight. And I know a lot of people probably will say this, but this is arguably my most anticipated game of this year, and possibly in like the past several years, at least for me, because I'm a huge Batman fan. I loved Arkham Asylum. I loved Arkham City. I think they're phenomenal games, and I'm really excited. And I know
Batman fanboy.
I am not a Batman fanboy. You shut up. You love Batman just as much as I do.
I do love Batman, but I'm like, I think the Batman games are great. Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City were truly great games, and they finally brought a superhero game that was actually, good.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they were great games, but I played the first one and really enjoyed it. And then I played the second one, and I wasn't really into it just because I wasn't into getting it, because I learned that after playing a Batman game, like, I play it, beat the story, and then I never go back to it. And then I also realized that I don't like playing as Batman, I like watching Batman. So, don't get me wrong, Batman games are great, I just prefer watching, like, the 90s series of the Batman animated TV series and, the Batman movies.
Right. Well, I can totally understand that. But just from speculation of what the trailers have shown us and gameplay
That
you've
trailer
seen,
at E3 was actually a nice little trailer that they showed us
oh yeah,
to give us some in-depth about the story.
oh yeah. I mean, like, of course, if you did the certain difficulty, you would get like an after credits scene of Asylum, where it would show it would show the Batwing flying off, and then you'd see a box of Titan, and then you'd see a villain's hand rise up and grab it. Now, what difficulty you played at determined which one. One of them was Killer Croc, one of them was Bane, and the other was Scarecrow. I can't remember which one was which, but the Scarecrow one, I mean, those are all deadly combinations when you think about it. But the Scarecrow one to me was always seemed interesting, even before Arkham Knight was announced, and that Scarecrow was going to be the main antagonist of the game. And I have always had like a deep love of Scarecrow. Like I didn't really know about him until Batman Begins movie, and I was like, wow, the Scarecrow guy's actually kind of cool. And I actually never had seen any episodes of any cartoon with Scarecrow. I don't know why I hadn't. I just hadn't. Um, but I started like I actually wanted. I think it was like last year or the year before. I actually wanted to make my own Scarecrow costume for Halloween based on that game, like the game design of Scarecrow. And then I always thought the concept of Scarecrow was awesome, and the fact that I feel like now he's getting more respect, but I feel like he's been kind of underutilized almost, and I'm glad that he's actually going to be a main bad guy.
Well, I feel like the reason why Scarecrow's been more of like less used character is because he's always been like that. I don't hold me to this. I think in the comics and also in the cartoon series, because he's just a one-sided character. It's just always about fear. There's not much other to him. At
Well,
least, at least like that they've shown. Like now in the Arkham games, they could, since it's set in a different universe, they could totally mess with it. And yeah, but the thing with Scarecrow is he's always been more of a one, sided character.
right,
There's not much to him. It's just
right.
fear. Big whoop de doo.
Well, I what one thing that I really like about the Arkham games, and I hope they continue to do it, is they've always had for certain villains, they'd have. Do you remember like the therapist recordings for different like
That was
audio logs?
that was an asylum, wasn't it?
They had them for both. They had some for city, but they had more for asylum. Because you're in a hospital naturally. But it always it if I remember correctly, Scarecrow had some, and I can't remember the whole basis of what he talks about, but he practically starts out getting therapy. He ends up giving therapy, and then the fear toxin gets introduced, and he gets released. And one thing that I think actually shows that they're actually wanting to take Scarecrow more serious is not only did they change up the design of him a little bit, but they also changed voice actors. And I think the reason they did that anyway is because they might be trying to go the route that he did get some Titan in him or something, so he's changed up a little bit, or he's deformed because he did get attacked by Killer Croc. And in the Asylum, he almost kind of had like I wouldn't say silly voice, but it was definitely not as intimidating as you would think. And he looks kind of scrawny in Asylum, but in the trailers that I'm seeing for Night and everything, he looks absolutely menacing. Like that's probably one of the coolest. He's probably one of the coolest like designed characters I think I've seen in a long time. And I thought about that with just the toxin gloves where you get the needles. So it's almost like a Freddy Krueger-esque almost kind of thing. I really like that design. I think that's really cool. But I'm really glad, and I'm really interested to see what they do with the Arkham Knight. I know they were building a brand new character, and it could be a brand new character. It could be a character that we don't necessarily expect. I don't know. But from what I've read, and I've tried to stay away from spoilers because I want this to be a really fresh experience.
Yeah, I know you're like super pumped about this game because like we've discussed before, you love the Batman games, and when Arkham Knight comes out, I feel like I'm going to lose you.
Well, it's gonna be a combination of work and playing it. Like I'm working Monday night, and I'll probably get out of there by 11:30, 11:40, maybe a little bit later. But I'm gonna be going straight to Walmart and getting the game, and I'm gonna be coming home, and I'm gonna be playing for probably about 3 or 4 hours. After I take a shower, I'll go to sleep, wake up at like 10 or 11 maybe, and then play for another 5 hours before I have to go back to work. Like that's how I'm gonna.
And then I'm
play.
gonna text you and be like, "So, how is it?" And you're like, "It's amazing."
Batman. Oh.
No, you're gonna be like, "Oh, what? Namtab." I'm gonna be like,
Tab?
"Namtab? It's Batman backwards."
Oh. Scarecrow, Arkham Knight, Bane, Harley Quinn, Red Hood, Nightwing, Robin, Oracle, Gordon.
Now you're just naming off everyone in the Batman universe.
It's awesome. But no, man, I'm like really excited. Like I'll probably like, we talked about not to get into our personal business here, but we talked about Friday night since I'm off this weekend, he's off this weekend, that I come over Friday night after work and we hang out. I might just bring Nike just to show you and Greg.
Oh, you know what? the thing that sucks though?
What?
It's a 3.5 gigabyte day one update.
I will bring my PS4. I do not care.
Like, and I didn't read what that update does, but I'm so fed up with these huge update files.
Why do you think they do that? Why can't they just get the game up to par from where it's at, like from the
I
get
feel
go,
like
and
okay,
then do
a lot of
updates?
them. I think it's their bug fixes and stuff for the game because they weren't able to get those minor bugs out of the game before it released because like the disc had already been put in production. You know.
I think that's
So
silly though. That doesn't make any sense. It's like
well,
if you know this could be a
if
day
it's a
one
minor
update.
bug that doesn't actually, excuse me, that actually doesn't you know, mess the game or makes the game unplayable, then they'll still ship it because they know they can fix it later now because now these consoles are like computers where you can just do updates to them constantly. So I think that's why they do it. Yes, I think it's bullshit too, but at least they're able to fix it instead of it being broken forever.
Well, I mean, I
But
understand
I
that.
don't understand of why the update files have to be so large. That's what bothers me. Like, I think I put in Metro Redux into my PS4 the first time. It only had like I think like a 20 megabyte update. I'm like, that's fine. That's a small update. I'm okay with that. But like when I stick, I don't know, what was it that had a huge update that I stuck in it? Like Mortal Kombat X. The like first day I put that in, and there was like what a 2 gigabyte update to it, like 1.8.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
I remember.
why does it have to be so large?
I, I don't know. Like, I find it irritating, especially a game that's been delayed.
I know because all you want to do is stick that disc in your PS4 and then play. That's all you want to do. You stick it
Exactly.
in, update. What? And I don't know. We did this on your PS4. I don't know if anyone else who listens to our podcast has done this, but if you ever played the game Alien Isolation, which is a great game by the way, and it had a day one update. Well, that day one update fixed some things, and it also fixed its frame rate. So if you did the update, you wouldn't have ever known. But if you played the game without its update, we did this on Jacob's PS4 because we just wanted to play the game at his house before downloading the update. The frame rate of the game was awful. In the cutscenes, it was really jittery and jumpy and just like choppy. And weren't the graphics even a little bad looking too because of the update?
Ah, yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been a
I
little
don't
while since
remember
I can't really
exactly. I just
remember.
remember that the frame rate during cutscenes was awful.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So, and that was before like the day one update because we were playing it without the day one update.
yeah,
So
because I
it's
wanted to
just
play
like, I hate it when stuff like that happens. You
it. Me
know?
too. It used to not even be about bugs in the game or anything. It used to be just about something with online, but now it's all about bugs in the game. It's like, why can't developers create like a functioning game?
Well, there's an argument to that, and that's because now games are much harder to develop than they used to be. I mean, like, look at what they're making now. I mean, these games are ridiculous now of what they can do and what they can achieve. So, to find that, bugs like that, it takes time and it takes effort. So, I'm not trying to defend them, but I think they need to do a much better job on fixing more before sending it out.
Right. I mean, as much marketing as they do for these games, you would think. I mean, I think like one of the biggest.
Like the mess of Unity. Anyone who listens
Yes.
to us, you heard about it. Assassin's Creed Unity was a mess when it came out. I mean, just downright fucking mess.
Yeah, I
It was like, have you ever watched How to Basic on YouTube? It's
I
like the messes that guy creates, okay? It was that messy.
don't even think it was that messy, to be honest with you. That's the people. That's the first Assassin's Creed game that I did not buy on day one.
Yeah, be grateful you didn't. Because Greg and I, like I've said this, played it the first, like I think the day or two after it came out. We downloaded the update and we were still like, what is wrong with this game? So, but back to Batman. Yes, it has a 3.5 gigabyte day one update. Just for, warning you.
That's okay. I mean, it's like when you think about it, it's like they said one of the main reasons that they didn't want to do like last gen consoles with this game was only because they wanted to continue, like they wanted to actually be
Last gen
productive.
would not have been able to handle this game.
It wouldn't have. They
Everything
said
I've seen from this game, last gen would not be able to handle this game. It would be such wasted potential if they kept held on to last gen.
exactly. It's like I think they said. I remember hearing them saying that the Batmobile alone would have been in one disc by itself that you would have had to like install.
Which, that's insane.
It's like 25 gigs or something like that. I
Just
heard.
one component of the game. That's not even a main. That's not. Well, maybe it's a main component, but it's not even deals with everything else in the game. It's just one component of the game. The vehicle you drive around in takes up an entire disc.
That's insane. Like
It is. Like,
okay.
that's a lot of detail.
Like, I'm just getting so excited now.
Oh, did you hear that it's going to have, like, that Grand Theft Auto style switch your character thing?
I think in certain sections, yes.
Yeah, so, like, you'll be able to switch from, like, I'm assuming, like, Batman to Robin or something. But the switching will be like how it did in Grand Theft Auto when you switch between Franklin, Trevor, or Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was cool. That was a cool idea because, like, yes, it's a copy from Grand Theft Auto, but that idea is actually really nice.
Right.
Instead of getting a loading screen of going to another character, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Or like I don't know, ending your game and starting it up as a different character. You know what I mean? Like back in the old days when you had to do that.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember that? Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
would have to, you'd be playing the game and you would have to save it, quit, go back to the main menu, go to the main menu, choose your character of which one you want to play it, then you could start playing again.
Yes. And also another thing about Batman that I actually want to ask you about. I can't remember if we ever talked about it, but what do you think of the game getting an M rating?
Oh yeah, I think that's crazy to be honest with you because it's Batman. I mean, Batman's always been, you know, kind of like a general universal thing. Anybody can watch it and see it. You know, like kind of like how the Batman movies. They're all what like PG-13, I think, because
Yeah.
they didn't want to go overboard with it because they wanted the kids to be able to see it.
The one movie that came the closest, I would say, would be Batman Returns. That's definitely the darkest, I'd say, of any Batman movie. And I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that movie, it kind of creeps me out still today, but I enjoy watching it. It's kind of fun to watch.
So it getting a rated M for mature, I find shocking. I don't find it bad because now it makes me question, like, ooh, what's in this game that got it this? What type of material is in the game for Because I like the serious and mature storylines and like details in the Batman games. I like those
it's
because
like that's
it's
that's
more
like
believable.
oh yeah, it's it doesn't get no better than that. Like in any kind of reading material or film or video game, it just doesn't. Like people always say, "Oh, things don't have to be so mature that." It's like they kind of do.
It's like you got to make
if
it
you want to use
believable for people because if we're going to compare Batman, who is a very human character because he is human, he's not a superhero. Well, he's a superhero, but he's not like a super being, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
He's not like Superman or Wonder Woman who has these superpowers and everything. He is a mere human. You have to touch on these. What am I trying to say? These little mature themes with Batman because we can relate to Batman
yes.
because we are human.
Yeah, I'm actually reading something about the rating, like on Wikipedia, and it said that the creator Hill and Rocksteady were actually caught off guard by the rating, and the Hill, I guess the creator of the game, explained that he didn't create the game with a specific rating in mind, but that it was just unavoidable that some bad stuff was going to happen, but they didn't want to change their approach. They're not including like gratuitous blood or swearing. They just want to deliver a true end with no compromises, and it takes them to some dark places.
It's probably going to have a lot of death in it then.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like the E3 trailer where, where you saw like you're in first
Oh
person
yeah,
mode of
the
a cop,
cop. Yeah,
and
if
you go to
anyone,
talk to the
all
guy
over.
smoking, and it turns up, oh shocker, it's Scarecrow, and then everyone, not just the cop, is like going crazy because of the stuff, and he starts shooting down everybody. It's like that's pretty dark stuff. That's like Call of Duty 2 or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2
Yeah.
where called No Russian, where it was like you pretty much just shoot up the entire airport, which is insane. I can't believe they actually added that to the
Yeah, for
game.
anyone who missed that video, that trailer for Batman Arkham Knight at E3, basically they just showed a cop going into a diner, and it was in first person, and someone asked him to tell someone to put out their cigarette because they were in like a no smoking diner or whatever. So the cop goes up to the guy, and it happens to be Scarecrow, who sprays him in the face, of course, with the fear toxin, and then the cop looks up, and all of the people who were in the diner are now like zombies. And he's freaking out, so he thinks they're attacking him when they're not, so then he gets his gun out and starts shooting at them. So in the cop's, perception, he thinks he's killing zombies because he's freaking out, but he's not, he's killing innocents.
Yep, and I think that's what makes Scarecrow probably one of the more dangerous villains out there. I've always thought that.
Well,
And
if he can cause and control the fear of people,
oh yeah,
he can use it against them.
oh totally. But no, I mean, I'm really excited for the game, and like I'm just ready for it. I'm like my body is ready.
I know now there's less focus of Joker in the game. So other than just Scarecrow, what other villains do you think they'll put a focus on?
Penguin, Two-Face, Poison Ivy. I don't know if she's going to be a straightforward villain or if she's going to be like a possible ally. I know that's a possibility. Harley Quinn's going to be in it. I know there's going to be a Harley Quinn DLC. I don't know if she'll end up turning out to be like a rogue ally or something. I think that'd be interesting.
Did you hear that Harley and Poison Ivy in the DC universe have been girlfriends in the past before, and it's canon now?
Yeah, they've been canons, or even I mean, they've been girlfriends, or even more like a sisterly bond type deal. There's some interpretations of sister like relationship, and then there's also like like hey, bang bang, um, no bang bang in the can.
I just recently read that though, like on Kotaku or something. It was either last week or so that like DC announced that's canon or something. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's for real. So I was like, huh, interesting.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And Poison Ivy, she looks pretty hot in the game. Like I think it's the first time I actually.
Even
thought
though
that
she's
she
like
looked
all
hot.
green and a little weird looking.
Hey, a little green never hurt.
Yeah, a little green, but she's like Green Giant, dude. She's all green. Maybe
Green Giant.
maybe she had sex with Green Giant. And that's why she's all green. Because once you go green, you don't go bad.
What? No, that
What?
doesn't even.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we're getting to a dark and creepy place here.
Well, we are talking about a mature Batman game.
Yeah, this is true. Oh, you know what? I also heard that while Joker isn't going to be like a main part of the game, there's going to be like some like flashback moments of like key
Do you
Joker things
think
with
he's
him and
dead?
Batman, and Mark Hamill is apparently back to voice those little flashbacks.
Do you think he's dead?
I don't know.
I don't
Uh,
think he's dead.
I'll tell you. I think he is dead, but it honestly would not surprise me that he wouldn't be, because I've seen a bunch of fan theories. I was like, can they really kill off Joker? I mean, like seriously, can they really just kill
How do
him
you
off?
kill off Joker without, like...
Like without ending the series? But I've seen hidden theories like that possibly when Batman was knocked out, that he actually took some of the antidote, and then Clayface actually switched bodies with him, because he's still technically working for Joker, and then like Joker got away, and then Clayface is the one who stabbed him in the arm. So it's like why would Joker just go to stab Batman when he's got the antidote in his hand? You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't, like, Joker's smarter than that.
Yeah.
And I know he wants to kill Batman, but at the same time, I also feel like Joker doesn't want to kill the Batman, because I think even he knows that if he kills Batman, I mean, where's the fun, as he would say? It's like,
Exactly.
there's no fun.
Without
Like,
Batman, Joker doesn't have, like, any meaning to live.
he doesn't. They even address it in like the animated series, if I remember correctly. I think he thinks he's killed Batman, or Batman's out of the way or something. And like he's just sitting at his chair all bored, and Harley's even like trying to get him to have like sex with him and stuff like that. And he's just like, "Not now, Harley." And he's not in the mood for it. It's hilarious. It's like, holy crap! Without Batman, Joker is depressed. And honestly, um, I know you didn't play the Harley Quinn DLC for City,
Joker is Batman's only friend.
and they say that in Arkham Origins, like he actually says, I think he says something along those lines, like you're like my only friend or something like that. Or no, it's in City he says that because all them voicemails he would leave him. But one thing I did think was interesting was, of course, at the end you see once Joker passes away or gets or dies, he brings his body out and he just sets it on top of the police car. And Gordon's like, "What happened?" He doesn't say a single word. And it's like, well, why didn't he bring out Talia's body? Why didn't he bring out Talia's body instead of Joker's body? And it's like, and then I know you never played the DLC for Harley Quinn's Revenge. I did, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little short, and it didn't really go in too deep. And you actually played as Nightwing, or no, I'm not sorry, not Nightwing. Robin. You played as Robin, and Batman. When you do play as Batman, he doesn't talk about Joker like ever. And there's even a moment where Gordon's like, "Do you want to talk about that other thing?" Like in context, they're talking about Harley, and he's like, "Do you want to talk about the other thing?" He's like, he's referring to Joker, and like you hear news reports, from like radio spread around the sawmill that there was reports that Joker's body was actually missing. So I don't know if they go with that at all, or if anything like that, but I do believe he's dead. However, it honestly would not surprise me if he somehow is still alive. And I wouldn't be mad either way because I feel like they take the material seriously to where, they have respect for it. They're not going to just, they're not going to Batman and Robin and, hold on, everyone, chill. They're not going to do that. So, I mean, I don't know.
I think he's still alive, but I think they're just gonna wait to bring him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
They're gonna use him as like future material.
possibly. I mean,
But
who knows?
they only faked his death because one, probably because Mark Hamill doesn't want to do the Joker voice anymore, and two, Joker healing after the Titan drug or whatever. I mean, he's got to take some time to get healthy again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So faking his death, maybe he thought faking his death would help him have complete solace from everything to do that.
Maybe, but then again, at the same time, it's like it's Joker. Come on, he can't stay quiet for too long.
Yeah. Who do you think the Arkham Knight is?
I don't know. I've read.
Didn't they say like they okay? They're claiming it's a new character.
Yeah.
The developers are. They're claiming it's a new character. It's no one from the DC universe. They literally created this guy. It's a new guy.
Right.
He looks like a badass.
He does look like a badass. I've read a little bit about him, what they've released, and they pretty much say that he is just like he's about as talented as Batman is physically and everything, and he somehow knows who Batman is. Like he knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
See,
and
now how is that possible?
it's possible. And now that I actually think about it, there's only a couple characters that know who Bruce Wayne really is. One of them is Ra's al Ghul, but Ra's al Ghul would never actually. He wouldn't announce that because he would have done it already. And then Talia al Ghul knew, but she's dead. Hugo Strange knew. He's dead now too. Probably the only other character besides maybe Riddler, which Riddler actually is a villain in the game. But I don't think it's this character, but this is a character. I don't know if you ever did the side mission. Did you ever do the side mission where these prisoners were like missing their faces?
No.
Okay, well, you get pretty much like these calls and stuff in the game.
Is this an asylum or city?
A city.
Okay.
There's actually there's several accounts where you find bodies with their faces cut off. Well, you find you analyze each of these crime scenes, and all sort of stuff, and then you eventually come to this building and you see like someone has actually like been doing like impromptu surgery there and everything. Well, come to find out, it's actually this villain who goes by Hush, and he's actually, hold on a second, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Da, 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 da. His real name is Dr. Thomas Elliot, or Tommy Elliot, and he was actually a childhood friend of Bruce Wayne. And he eventually, he's like the exact opposite pathway wise of Bruce Wayne. He actually ends up killing his parents, and he ends up hating like Batman. And I even think he comes to resent Bruce Wayne a little bit. And he actually ends up finding out that he's him, and he's actually taken different parts of faces of other people, and he's attached. He's pretty much gave himself a new face, and his body, his height and everything, and his weight and everything is practically identical to Bruce Wayne, and so his face now looks exactly like Bruce Wayne's. And I mean, there's a bunch of different stories with him in it. Um, yeah, but I don't think it's him. But I think he might be in the game. Um, and I hope so because I think it's a character that they need to bring more into light because he's a newer character.
Also, do you think Arkham Knight is a puppet of Scarecrow's, or do you think he's using Scarecrow?
It might be both. I don't know. Like they haven't shown enough. He might be a puppet, but then again, he might also be using him to his own needs. You never know because
with creating that badass of a character, I don't see why you would make him a puppet.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think any like villain in DC universe is a true puppet besides Scarface. But um, I don't know. Um, couldn't tell you, man. It's wait a minute. Eh, never mind. I don't know, but I'm really excited for the game. He he might be, but I don't know.
You won't know until you beat the game.
Pretty much.
Oh. Well, I hope it's great. I hope it's fantastic, and it looks awesome.
I hope it is too.
So,
all right,
yes,
well, I think that's enough about Batman. People are like, "Oh my gosh, stop talking
like,
about."
Man, they just talked about Batman for a fucking half hour.
Didn't even think we would talk about him that long. I'm really surprised.
Well, there's just there's so many things to question.
There really is. I mean,
Like,
I actually didn't even think that.
Why are you so ugly?
Well, you see, this one time, I punched myself in the face.
And then you just turned ugly?
No, I turned pretty, but then I got hit in the face by my brother, and I turned ugly again.
Oh, so it's all your brother's fault.
No, it's my fault.
Why would it be your? But he's the
Because
one.
if I hadn't punched myself in the face in the first place, my brother would just punch me, and then I would have been pretty.
Oh well, I'm still blaming your brother.
Eh.
Just because I can.
Oh yeah, it's whatever. All right, so what's our next topic tonight, buddy?
Well, I was doing some thinking, and I realized that I really enjoy playing co-op games with a friend. Like, I get a ton of enjoyment out of playing a video game with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Because playing games by yourself can get boring after a while, and just playing with someone just makes it a hell of a lot more fun. So I thought about, what if we discuss some co-op games that we've played together and discuss why we liked them and what we hope for more in the future? For example, some great co-op games that can come off the top of my head right now that I've played with you are Battle Block Theater, Far Cry 4, and Dying Light. And I like each one for, certain characteristics, but I want to go in depth with why I liked them for co-op. Battle Block Theater, the reason why I liked it for co-op was because it was just fun, goofy platforming with a friend, but you also had to use teamwork to get through that platforming level.
Right.
So even though you could punch your best friend off of the edge into water or whatever and kill them, it literally depended on teamwork to help out and beat the level.
Yeah.
And that I like when a game makes you work with your friend, because then it's like, oh, we're not just doing our own thing, we're in this together.
Oh yeah. I agree. I feel like that's the only reason I even play online is to play with friends. But I don't always just want to do a certain game. I'd actually like to play through a story, like like Dying Light or Battle Block or something like that.
Yeah,
And
Dying
it's
Light's
like
a great example of being able to do an entire an entire game story with a friend.
I'm actually surprised by how much fun that game was, and then
Me too.
the fact that you could play, but not only just like two people, you could play with four people.
I know, four-player co-op, and you all could do the story mode together, which I found awesome because I feel like doing a story with someone would be fun, and most games don't do that now. And most games are just story modes that are by yourself, and that's it. And if
Right.
it does have co-op, it's at like some stupid like mission thing, like in Far Cry 3.
Yeah, I I don't really care for the co-op in Far Cry 3 or 4.
No, it was awful. And that's another thing. I would love to have more co-op games to play with my friends,
Yeah,
But I want a co-op game to have substance.
exactly.
I want it to I want it to feel like it has plenty of stuff for us both to do and feel like we accomplished something. Like with Dying Light, we played the entire story mode together, and we did a ton of other side things during the story, and it was a blast because we were running throughout these cities with a bunch of zombies, beating their heads in, and catching them on fire and doing parkour and everything, running around.
That's how you do a free roaming zombie game. Just
Yeah,
saying.
and I mean that was just a blast because we got to enjoy it together. We got the same experience just together. But then, like, you have a game that does co-op like Far Cry 4, and you can't do the story together. All you can do is, like, take out enemy outposts and, like, discover the, I think, like, the hidden stuff in the world, like the maps and stuff. And to
Right.
me, that was boring because you and I were just like, we don't have any objective other than killing guys. Like, if we wanted to do that, we would go play multiplayer and, like, a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I felt.
Yeah, I mean,
It didn't feel like it had any substance. It felt shallow. And I don't like that.
yeah, I mean that's kind of like why I don't care for first person shooters anymore in general. Just because I feel like they're all just rehashes. Like I blame Call of Duty, I blame Battlefield, I blame all of them because they're all practically the same. It's like I can't. It's like why should I pay like $60 for a game where with the storyline's a little different and then the multiplayer is pretty much practically the same, with just maybe some different weapons or vice versa. When pretty much the button layout's the same, everything feels the same when it comes to the shooting, the mechanics, the jumping, the running, all that good stuff. It's like, why in the world should I feel immersed in something that I've already played 4 times before for 4 or 5 years now? You know, that's why I don't like Call of Duty anymore. I feel like it just needs to die. But I mean,
I'm not saying this is true because I haven't played it, but when it first came out, some people said that Titanfall seemed to finally be that first-person shooter that felt a little bit different. And, okay, I've never played it, but what I've heard, I could understand it a little bit because not only, was it a first-person shooter, but it had the mechs in it, which isn't anything new, but it also had, like, the bots in it to kill, which
yeah,
is not new. But just that experience with the mechs and the bots and then the human players supposedly, I guess, felt different. I know I don't hear a lot of people playing it anymore, but I think the reason why is because they hurt themselves by making it strictly a multiplayer game, and they didn't add, like, any, like, story or I don't even know if it has co-op missions or any. You know what I mean? Like, it's just strictly multiplayer. I think that hurt it, to be honest with you, because, like, you can probably get, Titanfall for Xbox One and PC for $10 or $15 now, brand new.
yeah.
Which is sad, because the game is the game a year, or is it a year old?
It's 14 months, I believe, almost 15.
I don't remember. But, yeah, like, I heard that, it felt good to play. That's what I heard. But the question is, was it different enough to finally be that first-person shooter that broke the mold? Because like you said, now all of them, they feel pretty much the same, and they all feel shallow.
Yeah, it didn't break the mold. I mean, it did some things differently. But I think the main thing that hurt it was the fact that it didn't even have a story. It was just, oh, let's go to this map. We've got Titans, and let's go kill bad guys. It's like, not everybody likes to just do that, you know?
Well,
Like, give us a story to actually care about why these soldiers are fighting. Give us a reason. It's like, why are we fighting this guys? Why are we fighting this guys? Oh, they're on the opposite side. That's why I was like, no, I want, because believe it or not, when you're facing an opposite team, a lot of times, I mean, I know a lot of people don't even play the story mode of games. Sometimes they just go straight from multiplayer, which I think is robbing of the experience because if you play through the story mode, you know at least partly like who you're playing as usually. And it's like if you have a general idea of who you're playing at, you actually even at just a very minimal amount, you care more about like just the overall substance. But it's like in Titanfall, my biggest problem with that, like I didn't own it, but I played it at my cousin's on his 360. I never get to play it on Xbox One, but I mean I didn't really have a desire to. It's just like yeah, it was kind of fun. It's like it was kind of easy to get Titans after a little bit, but I didn't feel like I had a whole lot of progress because there's so many bots, and then there's also quite a few of like actual people, and it's like it felt like it was almost like I felt like I was doing pretty good, but it's like at the same time I didn't at the same time,
You
and I didn't
felt
get
like you weren't making like any accomplishments. Like you weren't really getting anywhere.
exactly. I just felt I felt like I was like, oh yeah, I'm killing bots, but I'm also killing a few good guys, and oh look, I'm in a Titan, but oh look,
That's
it's
kind of
not as
how I
rewarding.
feel. In recently, um, I know we're not talking about co-op now. We're talking about first-person shooters, but I feel okay. I got into the PlanetSide 2 closed beta,
Hmm.
and don't get me wrong, it's a fun first-person shooter, and I like playing it for a little bit here and there, like half hour, an hour or so, because I find it enjoyable because it
Yeah.
has good gameplay. But like with that game, it's such a large game because I know it's like an MMO first person shooter. Like it's an
Yeah.
ever changing world, and like the factions are getting so much land and losing so much land and all that. But to me in that game, I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with it because the maps are so large and the land masses to control are just there's so much to it.
Yeah.
Like even though it's fun to play because like I'm killing people in it, but it's just I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere in PlanetSide 2 because it is so large and the places do take so long to control. Like with Battlefield 4 and 3, I've played those. If you ever played the game type Conquest, where you capture certain checkpoints throughout a map and then control them until the enemy's respawns are all the way down to 0 and then you win,
Uh-huh.
you actually feel like you're accomplishing something because even if you lose a checkpoint, you can go back and you can do this in PlanetSide too. You can go back to that checkpoint and retake it, but it
Right.
just seems like the rounds are much quicker in Battlefield compared to PlanetSide 2.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if there are rounds in PlanetSide 2. I'm such a PlanetSide 2 noob, but
You're just
I
a noob
mean,
in
with
general.
Battlefield, I feel like I'm actually getting somewhere. Like, oh, I'm working hard with my team to control these 2 or 3 checkpoints while the other team only has 1, so we're depleting their respawn tickets quicker than they are ours.
Right.
And as long as we keep killing them, we're gonna win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. I'm working as a team, and I'm doing my best to get this done.
That's probably like my biggest problem with first person shooters. It's just like, eh.
Have you ever played Battlefield?
I've played some Battlefield, but
What
like,
Battlefields have you played?
now are we talking like just straight up numerals, or are we talking about some of the other ones as well?
No, we're talking about all the Battlefield games.
I've played Bad Company. I've played Bad Company 2, which are great
To this
games.
very day, people still argue Bad Company 2 is the best one.
It is. It's like it's so funny, but at the same time, it's really hard, and it's just really awesome. And then of course, I've played 3. I've played a little bit of 4. I don't want to play Hardline, but that's about it, really. I mean,
So
but
you played a decent amount then.
yeah, but I love the Bad Company games. Like if they came out with a third like a Bad Company 3, I would probably get it. But
Well, maybe you should get give it a chance again, but play it with a friend. Because see, when you're playing it by yourself, oh, don't play Battlefield's so boring by yourself. Online, don't do it. It is so damn boring. You have to have like a friend or two to play with because then you can actually work together to achieve things.
yeah,
Because I noticed when Greg and I would play Battlefield together, him and I would try to work together and we wouldn't get anything accomplished because our other squad members who were in our squad weren't helping. So you need like at least 3 people together that you know, like you and 2 other people, and then you can get shit done. Because when I played Battlefield 3 on 360, my cousin, one of his friends, would play with us, and we got stuff done. Like we kicked ass in that game.
Right.
We spent so many hours on Battlefield 3, but it was a blast because we were actually doing things. So maybe I don't know. Maybe we should try to get into Battlefield 4 or something and play together because it is fun when you are actually doing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And some of the funny stuff you can do in the Battlefield series, like if you don't feel like seriously playing, you feel like lollygagging, oh, go blow this up. You can.
Right.
I love using C4 in that game. Like I love going up to some guy in a vehicle, throwing like 3 C4s on it, like a tank, and then just waiting for him to drive off, and then clicking the clicker to blow him up, the detonator. It's awesome. It's like you feel like the biggest douche, but you have the biggest grin on your face.
I don't know. I just find it really hard to get into first person, like typical first person shooter games. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I know they're not your thing, and I'm beginning to get out of them too, just because I'm older now and they don't bring me as much enjoyment. But I like to play one every now and then, just because I do need that dumb first person shooter. I just need to shoot shit.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's like the first player shooter game that I actually really got back into is a game that doesn't even have multiplayer, and that's Wolfenstein.
Yeah, but that's because it has a story.
Well, I know that, but what I'm saying is
That's
like,
why you're so into it, because it has a story.
but it's not like a typical like shooter game. Like, is it perfect? No, but I mean, the gameplay is really solid. Like each gun feels different. And I feel like some of the like you feel the power of some of those guns because some of those guns are kind of ridiculous. And I don't know, like I just really enjoy that game. But I mean, if we're talking about like typical, oh, Call of Duty Battlefield, all stuff. I used to be a Battlefield supporter, but now I feel like Battlefield's like the new Call of Duty.
Wait. Yeah, Battlefield, I know, yeah. I'm a disappointed in the Battlefield series because, like, it does feel like that. I still think it's much better than Call of Duty. I will play Battlefield any day over Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I dislike Call of Duty. But, I do want to say this, though. You gotta at least be excited for Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a first person or a third person.
Oh my gosh, like, you and I have to get that game and, like, play the crap out of it. Because it just looks so awesome.
That actually looks like I actually think I'll play it in first person more than I will third person. And the reason I say that is because it impressed me more in first person than it did in third person, except for like minus in vehicles. Like if I'm in a vehicle, just go on and put it in third person. But like if I'm actually on the ground, just put me in first person.
Excuse me? Yeah, I mean, I cannot believe how good that game looked. And I cannot wait until November when I lose my social life.
Wait, you had a social life?
Yeah, I do right now. But November, when Fallout 4 and Star Wars Battlefront come out, I won't even know what real life is.
I'm surprised. I'll be surprised if I even make it through this week.
What is real life?
It's like when I'm not at work, I'll be playing Arkham. I mean,
Just like, I don't even know what to do with myself.
but no, I mean, that's probably my biggest problem. It's like I don't think that like indie games or platformer games have a problem with the multiplayer. It's all these AAA games, and it's just like I wish they would give us more free range for the co-op, and kind of like what Dying Light did. I mean, you don't have to do like the main story. I mean, it's pretty cool that you do the main story, but I think it saves time instead of having to do like a separate side mission that doesn't have near as much tension or anything like that. But I mean, if you can get a game where like the side, like the co-op missions actually play some kind of purpose into the actual story or tie in pretty well to the first one, it's like go for it. But I feel like almost any game should have a co-op, like a full-on co-op storyline.
I think Dying Light was like a hidden gem.
It really was like, oh, I can't believe like how much fun that game was.
I couldn't believe it myself either. Like, and I was just randomly looking it up one day. I'm like, okay, I need a new game to play. Let's check out Dying Light.
Right.
And I checked it out. I was watching gameplay, and I'm like, holy crap, this looks awesome. And I bought it and played it. I'm like, whoa, this game's actually fun. And I hated Dead Island.
Oh, Dead Island
hated
sucks.
that game.
Can't
But Dying Light is like, holy crap, this is awesome. It's fun. It's like finally a zombie game that does it right.
And it's made by the same people. Like, what the heck?
I know. Well, if I remember correctly, I think Dying Light was the game they wanted to create, but they ended up making Dead Island in the first place. I think. I don't remember.
I
Who
mean,
knows?
I know Dead Island sold well because I mean it's in that zombie phase.
Well, it was an open world first person zombie basher.
Yeah, even though the reviews for it were mediocre at best.
Yeah. And now they're making a Dead Island 2.
It's actually gonna be Dead Island 3 because Riptide was officially the second game. It's like,
Oh, was it? Oh,
no,
okay, whatever.
I'm totally kidding. Riptide might as well have been a glorified DLC.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe you actually thought I was being serious right there.
No, I didn't. I don't know what that. I didn't know what Riptide was. I didn't know if it was DLC, a new game, or what.
Oh, it was a new game, but it's a glorified DLC.
Oh, okay. See, trash.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, and I know this isn't a video gamer topic, I know this isn't a video game topic or anything, and it's probably something I should just tell you like outside of the podcast. But I watched Chappie, the movie you're
Oh,
so interested in.
is it good?
You know what's funny? Most of its hate was because it's not a typical artificial intelligence movie, and the fact that they wanted the movie to do something and it did like the exact opposite. That didn't bother me. I really enjoyed that movie. It's a lot of fun. Like the special effects are great. The acting's actually pretty good. I don't necessarily care for like some of the gangster-ish type characters. If I can say that, I don't know if I could say that, but and not to offend anybody if you're part of the thug life.
Thug.
I'm just kidding.
I'm a thug.
But you know, the acting wasn't like amazing, but I thought it got the job done, and it has a really interesting premise. And actually took some turns that I wasn't expecting with some of the way it developed some of the characters, and I think it's a really good movie. I'll either have to let you borrow it, or you'll just have to like rent it or something. I mean, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, I'm gonna have to borrow it from you if you
Okay,
don't mind,
that's fine.
because I really wanted to see it. So I thought
Yeah.
it looked interesting. So
I mean,
yeah.
overall, if a score out of 1 out of 10 or 0 out of 10, whatever, I'd probably give it ooh, an 8.2.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, is it a perfect movie? No,
That's a
but
solid movie.
yeah, exactly. It's like I don't think every movie has to be perfect. I mean, a lot of people are
That
like,
reminds me, I still need to buy Pulp Fiction on Blu-ray.
yes, you do.
I don't know why that. Oh, I know why that popped up in my head today. I saw. I was at Drake's and they were playing the one bit from Grease, and it was John Travolta when he was young. That's why that popped up in my head.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sorry.
you
It's
thought
just
of Pulp Fiction.
yeah. I'm sorry, but like whenever I see John Travolta from Grease, I'm like, that's John Travolta. Like he was young and like skinnier. Like what?
And he can sing.
Like what?
Huh?
Like it confuses me.
That's how he was back in the day. But
I know. Now he's old.
yeah, well, yeah. But it's like everyone was always comparing like Chappie and like Elysium to like District 9, which I know you're not a big fan of District 9, but I think it's one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. And everyone's comparing like that movie, like Elysium and Chappie to District 9, and I'm like, why? They're completely different movies. Yeah, they're science fiction, but Elysium is just a fun movie to watch and popcorn flick, and then Chappie, I like Chappie, and I don't think people give it enough credit just because it didn't go the way they wanted it to. It's like, oh, that's not how I wanted it. It's like, guess what? You didn't make the movie.
You didn't make the movie, so get over it.
It's like, what? You want a rehashing of Short Circuit? I mean,
Yes.
I mean, I like
Kidding.
Short Circuit. That's
Kidding.
actually kind of a funny movie, but that bugs me that people are like, oh, the movie should have gone this way. I would have felt more attached. You actually start to feel attached for Chappie, even though he becomes kind of like a jerk face, but he doesn't know any better.
He doesn't know any better. He's just a robot.
He really doesn't. I mean, it's actually got a pretty good message about it, and I was actually thinking about like the entire movie and like trying to process and everything. And it opens up for a sequel.
Was it better than her?
Different kind of movie.
I'm sorry. Just when I saw the premise of that movie, I just kind of was like, wow. Anyway.
That's actually a heartfelt love story movie, man.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
I'm just saying. I am just saying, man. Like that's actually
Just saying. I'm just saying.
Scarlett Johansson's voice in your ear all the time. A
What?
plus.
What?
I don't know.
No.
No, you don't want Scarlett Johansson's voice in your head all the time?
No.
Why not?
Because.
Your girlfriend's sitting right next to you, isn't she?
No, because I love my girlfriend and I'd rather hear no girl in my head at all times.
Even Scarlett Johansson's?
Yeah. Hello. You're not with someone. You're not with a girl all the time right now. Trust me, you do not want to hear a woman inside your head 24/7.
Yeah, you're probably right on that one.
Uh-huh. Okay, think about it when you're mad at your mom and she's bugging you. Think of it like that.
So you're saying you want me to think of girlfriends and future wife possibly like my mom?
Nagging you.
Oh. Nagging. I wouldn't know what that's like.
Yes.
But you're agreeing that I wouldn't know what that's like?
No, I'm saying that's what it's like. Yes, I'm agreeing that that's yes.
Okay.
I would not want a girl inside my head. I would probably die or shoot my brains out.
You would die?
I would probably blow my brains out.
That's graphic.
I know it's graphic, but I'm going to be graphic because I am graphic.
Yes, you are.
Because I'm living on the edge.
Living on a prayer.
No, man. Living on the edge. Aerosmith, dude.
Living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it up.
This podcast has been officially ruined.
Whoa. Living on a prayer.
You're singing fucking Bon Jovi. Okay, I'm done.
Hey, Bon Jovi,
That's
man.
disgusting.
Bon Jovi.
That's disgusting. We are so off topic.
You need to get your butt out of the head.
All right, guys. I think this is the end.
Not of the podcast series, just this episode.
Of this episode. Not the movie, this episode. So.
Just letting everyone, just as a quick reminder, we have a Twitter, @GamerBull, only with the underscore with the I instead. And we also have a YouTube of every single podcast in audio form, and we're also on iTunes as well.
Yes, so, and it's not it's Gamer Bullshit. It's Gamer Bullshit on Twitter, but the I...
to be considerate.
I know, but the I is an underscore. Just remember that. And if you search that on YouTube or on iTunes, you will find us, like you said. And we are also on Shout Engine, so go there and listen to it, please.
If you enjoy it, share it with friends. Follow us on Twitter. If you're listening to it on YouTube and you like it, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a dislike, subscribe if you want. We don't care.
Give us feedback, please. I want feedback.
Really
I've
want
not been able to find any feedback on any of our social accounts. Like, please, feedback.
we know you guys are listening. We know that there's people that have
There's a
actually
few
listened.
of you out there listening. I know there is. Because Shout Engine tells me, unless Shout Engine's lying to me.
And YouTube has told me that each of our podcasts have been listened to at least a little bit. So it's like, come on, guys. Give us something.
Be
Throw
vocal.
me a
We're
freaking
being
bone
vocal.
here.
If you're going to listen to us be vocal, I mean, that's probably really hard to do. So, I mean, come on. Give us some... Be vocal.
Even if you just listen to a section. Give us a feedback on the section.
Even
we don't
if it's
care.
like 5 minutes and then you're like, these guys are tards. I'm not listening to them ever again.
Exactly. Just tell us we're tards.
Sorry if we offended anyone there, okay? But this is our podcast.
Yeah. Hold up.
So, with that, we are off of here. So, Jacob, do you want to say goodbye?
I'm Batman. And I'll see you all next time.